The difference between your nationality, ethnicity, and race. Before I get started, let me say that these things are a social construct, meaning that humans made it up to be able to classify different groups of people for different agendas in history. If you want me to talk more about that, let me know in the comments and I will make a video about it. However, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to focus on what these different terms mean and why you cannot use them interchangeably. So, the first one is your nationality. Your nationality is the country you were born in. I was born in Argentina, therefore I'm Argentinian. If you're born in Mexico, you're Mexican. If you're born in Italy, you're Italian. If you're born in America, you're American. This is your nationality. This is not your race. This is your nationality. Ethnicity. Your ethnicity is a cultural group that you're a part of, and you share common customs, language, etc. In my case, I'm Hispanic or Latina or Latinx, whatever you want to call it, but I'm Latin. And that just means that even though there are so many countries in Latin America, we all share certain things in common, such as the fact that we speak Spanish, we eat similar foods, etc. So we are Latin American, okay? Now, your race is your genetic makeup. It has to do with your genes and your ancestry. So these are the things that determine your skin color, hair color, etc. Let me say something though, and I can make a video about this too, so comment below if you want me to explain it further. But humans are actually the same. Our genetic makeup is really the same for the most part. This is why we all have 2 arms, we all have 2 eyes, we all have 5 fingers in each hand, we all have everything is the same. The only difference is tiny little specks of information in that huge code, in our genetic code, such as like, oh, this little speck is going to determine that you have curly hair and that person has straight hair, or you have black hair and that person has, blonde hair, or you have blue eyes and that person has black eyes. Literally, these are little tiny dots. Everything else is the same, and you might even have more in common with a person that you think of a different race than with people your own race, right? Because your genetic code is not all determined by race. This is just one tiny little speck. However, it exists, the construct is there, so let me explain it. Your race is your genetic background. This means that you can be from any race and be anywhere in the world. There's no such thing as like all Mexicans are brown or all Americans are white, because that's not what determines your race, your skin color, the country that you're in has nothing to do with that. So therefore, if you're American and you have blue eyes, and you go to Mexico and you have a kid there and he has blue eyes, and then he has a kid and that kid has blue eyes, they're Mexican. They were born in Mexico, they're Mexican. But the reason why their race is white is because they inherited that from you. Their race will not change just because they're born in Mexico. They're suddenly not going to be brown, and there's no such thing. No country can determine your skin color. So you cannot be saying to Hispanics, you don't look Mexican, you don't look Argentinian, you don't look, there's no such thing as that. There's not a look for each country. The country, the land, the geographical area does not determine your color, especially in America, in the entire continent, North, Central, South America. We got a lot of immigrants. We all did, because of colonizers, because of different migrations, people escaping different dictatorships from Europe, from the Nazis escaping like to not get justice in Germany, etc. So we can be from anywhere, and we can have any racial background in being in any country. Okay, so in my case, my nationality is Argentinian, my ethnicity is my cultural group, which is Latin American or Hispanic or Latina, and my race, well, I took a DNA test and I'm super mixed. I actually have Levantine, I come from Levantine people, I come from Caucasian people, Celtic, I come from indigenous people, especially tribes in South America, I come from, other European people, I have some even Egyptian, I'm super mixed. My ancestors had a lot of fun, and I'm glad they did, and they traveled around. However, this is why we cannot tell people you don't look like this or that, because, again, people are super mixed. I can make a video about the history, a breakdown of the history, but let me tell you this, and let me know if you want to know more. We've all colonized people, we've all taken over through empires, we've all been taken over and taken over people, because that's just our history. And it seems like we keep repeating history over and over again. Again, a different video, let me know if you want to hear about it. However, your race, again, it has to do with your genes. So, you can be black and be in Latin America, because guess what? Maybe your ancestors were black, they were black slaves that got brought over here, what have you, they're black. You can be white, you can be Asian. In Peru, there's a lot of people that are mixed with indigenous and Asian, and you can see the Asian features because they had a lot of migration from Asian countries. So, again, your race is just your genetic makeup. It's just the things that determine your skin color, your eye color, and most of us are really mixed. There's nobody that's 100% one thing, because it's very unlikely that in thousands and thousands and thousands of years that humans have existed, your ancestors never mixed with anybody else, and they just stayed in their little village and just slept with each other, and that's it, and they never moved anywhere, right? Most likely you have other races in you. But maybe you're more predominant, right? Predominantly white, predominantly black, so you have features that are obvious, right, to people that you're black, you're white, you're Asian. However, like I said, we're a mix. A lot of times people don't know what I am unless they hear me speak. Some people think I'm Middle Eastern, some people think I'm European, some people think I'm Latina, some people, again, because these are just ethnic groups. These are not races, okay? I hope you get it. If you have any questions, let me know. But I just thought we would just settle this These terms are not to be used interchangeably. These terms also help us understand that we should not assume that a person from a certain country should look a certain way. And hopefully we can understand that we have way more in common than we think, and so we shouldn't even put such a big emphasis on these things. But if we do, may it be to learn about our history and not repeat it. May it be to understand that we are all equally valuable and we all deserve equal respect. May it be to understand that it really doesn't matter that you're not smarter if you're one of race or another race, because race has nothing to do with that. And maybe to understand that this world is actually such a small world. Alright, this is it for today. Besos. And yes, I did get a tiny mic. This is actually a wireless mic, but I think tiny mics are cute and it made me feel like I have a mic to speak into, so